Heaven Sent.
What's up, guys? This is Vincent, otherwise known as Heaven Sent. We hit 4,000 subscribers, so I thought I could do something special for the channel. I wanted to give you guys a little tour of my workspace slash game room. You know, I live in a very small apartment that I actually share right now, so it's not the most spacious, unclaustrophobic game room, I would say, but you know, it's my little space. I love it, and it's got a lot of things that are really special to me, so I thought I could share those with you today and also answer some questions. So hope you guys enjoy, and let's get to it. We're gonna have to get a little more natural lighting in here because, as you can see, I kind of have a whole neon atmosphere thing going most of the time, but we have to open up these curtains so we can see what's going on in here. Oh my gosh, the sun, it burns. So as you can see here, we got my little computer set up. You know, we got the dual monitors, HyperX Quadcast mic. This right here is actually a pre-built I got in 2020 during the pandemic. It's actually my first gaming rig, so I went with a pre-built. I had no prior experience of building computers or GPUs, CPUs, you know, all the PUs. I didn't have any experience with those. It's got an AMD 5700 XT, 16 gigabyte RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. Yeah, already had to upgrade that. I believe it's got a Cooler Master water cooler. What else we got in this thing? It does the job. That's all I can say. It does the job. So far, with all the emulation and the editing that I do, it's done a phenomenal job. I've had no issues with it. So, you know, despite a lot of people talking down on pre-builts, I am actually pretty happy with mine. So next we're gonna move over to my little console station that I have set up. Now this is more so for PS5, PS3, but I'm gonna show you guys what I'm working with. Going down to our first shelf, we got the PlayStation 5. I actually just got the PlayStation 5 pretty recently. I wasn't able to get one at release. Got a couple of games with it: Tekken 8, Resident Evil 4, Madden 24, and Final Fantasy 16. Honestly, so far, loving all these games, except, you know, Madden's a little lackluster as usual. But then we got the PlayStation 2, which is my absolute favorite console of all time. The PlayStation 1 memory card for when we play our PS1 games. Copy of Resident Evil 2, which is one of my prized possessions. I absolutely love this game. You know, it's a big part of my childhood and a big part of making me the massive Resident Evil fan that I am today. And also we got Metal Gear Solid, which is once again one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time. I actually just completely cleared it for the first time recently. As a kid, I did play it a lot, but I was so young in '98 that I would just pretty much play the first mission over and over. Just kind of, you know, have fun with that. So then we move on down to the PlayStation 3, which I got the slim model. You know, this is a console that I really loved as a teenager. This was kind of big when I was in high school. A lot of me and my friends were playing PS3 at the time. I got a couple of games for it. Got Dirt, Resident Evil 5, Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Grand Theft Auto 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Midnight Club Los Angeles. All classics, all games that I played a lot as a young kid, and you know, I very much enjoy my little console setup. It's nothing crazy, but you know, it gets the job done. And anytime I'm sitting here editing and I just need to take a break, I just move on over, power on the TV, and play my game of choice. Also, before I get off track, I wanted to let you guys know what kind of headset I use. I actually use the Razer Kraken V3 headset. It's an absolutely phenomenal headset if you guys are looking for something that's budget friendly and has a great surround sound. This is my second pair, as I accidentally broke my first pair, but yeah, it's more than worth the money, and I definitely recommend it to anyone that's looking for an affordable, high quality headset. Now this area right here there's a lot going on, and this is probably some of my most prized possessions. Some of my collectibles are just games that I absolutely love. This is actually probably going to be my favorite part of the tour, so I can't wait to show you guys what all I have in here. We're just going to start from the top and work our way down. First off, we got the Time Crisis 2 with the Gun Con. Absolutely phenomenal game. One of my favorite arcade games of all time. Grew up playing a lot of Time Crisis at the movie theater as well as the pizza parlor when I was a kid, and just had to have my own copy, you know. Right here we got the collectible NECA Scream figure with the multiple mask. We got the Jeepers Creepers Funko Pop, the Creeper, another one of my favorite horror movies growing up. So I'm gonna move a couple games out of the way before we get to talk to them so we can see this little area right here. I didn't even know I had this up here, but this is Hard Hitter Tennis. This was a Goodwill find, as you can see. I just decided to grab it because I like the kind of old school Y2K cover art. From what I've read, the game is not very great, but you know, we'll have to find out eventually. And then we got the entire Grand Theft Auto trilogy. You know, pretty rare at this point to find. I got this a while back. I've actually bought probably about 3 or 4 of these. The first one being when I was in middle school, when they first came out with these. It's really cool. It comes with all 3 of the original PlayStation 2 Grand Theft Auto titles. I think they're in exactly mint condition anymore, and all the maps are missing, as well as whatever this is. But yeah, somehow during my moving process that happens. So that's gonna take a little dent in the value, but yeah, we got the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, which I think is really cool. Next up, to add to my GunCon collection games, I have Vampire Knight, which is a super, super cool game. Anyone that knows me knows I absolutely love vampires. This is a really cool little GunCon game. It's pretty short, but it's extremely challenging actually. I've yet to beat it. I'm a little bit stuck on the last boss. Next, we got Devil May Cry, the original. You know, obviously, you're gonna see I'm a huge... Oh my goodness. So without breaking anything, let me restart, but I'm a huge Devil May Cry fan. Definitely one of my top 3 favorite series in gaming. And this is just an absolute classic, you know. Roaming around the castle as Dante for the first time was just such a thrill as a kid, and it's a game that I still very much enjoy in present day. Next up, we got Devil May Cry 3. Anyone who's played Devil May Cry 3, they know this is the peak Devil May Cry experience. Next up, we got more vampires. Blood Rain 2. This is actually a reprint copy that I got from my favorite local game store, Unlimited Games. Pretty good little deal, 20 bucks, not too bad, but yeah, Blood Rain 2. Now you're probably asking yourself, Vincent, why do you have 2 copies of Resident Evil Code Veronica X? The reason that I have 2 is because I met a guy on Marketplace that was supposed to be selling me this first one. Fortunately, he finessed me. There's no game in there, so it was completely empty. I had already drove away and everything. Didn't feel like going back and arguing with the guy. He was already super strange, so I have an extra case. So yeah, right here we do have Resident Evil Code Veronica X, the full complete edition. I do have, it's got a mint condition manual. It's absolutely beautiful. Got the Devil May Cry demo CD, which I thought was super cool. You know, I had never seen that before. And then, of course, the game for Code Veronica X. And since these are newer games, I'm not gonna really speak too much on them. I'm sure you guys know plenty enough about most of these PS4 games. Now, typically this is sitting here. I wanted to move it so I could talk about it later, but this is my copy of Resident Evil 3, which is my absolute favorite classic Resident Evil. I remember going to EB Games a lot as a kid and just seeing this cover art and being like, oh my gosh, what is this game? And then next, we have my Japanese Devil May Cry, which is super cool and super water damaged. But because of the water damage, I got it on sale. But it's really cool to have a Japanese edition of a PlayStation game because, I don't know, I feel like they always make the cover art so much cooler than the Western versions. Play with that, yeah. Got the Ghostface bobblehead. He's chilling. Then we're gonna move on down to our PlayStation 2 collection that we have so far. And as you can see, we got some classics here. You know, we got MX vs. ATV Unleashed, Time Crisis 3, we got Manhunt. Now this is a great game right here. Rumble Roses. This is one you didn't want your mom to walk in on you playing, that's for sure. I recently picked this up, and I gotta say, I remember this game being a lot more fun when I was a kid, but unfortunately the sun's hiding at the moment, so I got a little bit of a problem getting good lighting on the games, but I'm gonna try to continue, so hope you guys are enjoying so far. Now moving down, we got a little collection of manga, as well as some Funko Pops and some Naruto gear. One of my personal favorite characters, Gaara. Jack the Ripper, Hellblade. This is a manga I got on sale, as you can see. I thought it looked really cool, so I figured, you know, one day I'll give it a little skim through. Now this is one I'm very happy to talk about because this was a big part of my childhood, and I feel like a lot of people have slept on this manga and the anime as well. Get Backers, if you've never read any of the books, definitely recommend picking them up. Next in the docket, we got Happiness, Dance in the Vampire Bund. We got a little Minato right here, little keychain I got probably about 5 or 6 years ago at Toys R Us before they closed. So I think this is a pretty cool little souvenir, but this was the last thing I ever bought at a Toys R Us. And then before I forget, right next to my PS2 collection, I usually keep this right here. This is my Final Fantasy VIII copy. Look at that cover art. Absolutely gorgeous. Now going down below, we got more of our horror and DVD collection. As you can see, we got the bloody Jason figure. Got the Michael Myers, Funko Pop Michael Myers, but then my favorite, the DVD collection. Now, as you guys know, I do love retro things, but DVDs are my personal fave when it comes to movies. Got the 40-Year-Old Virgin. This is a Blockbuster copy, which I thought was pretty cool. Any of my horror fans remember this one? Prom Night. And I bought it from FYE, which is pretty cool. And you already know I had to have Scream 1, 2, and 3, of course. And not to brag, but my Scream copy is still sealed. Absolutely love the art on this one, holographic. And I really love these little like shell cases that they used to have for DVDs. Really cool. But yeah, big Final Destination fan. Now anybody who loves video games and who loves stoner movies just absolutely has to watch this movie. It's completely hilarious, and it was a really big part of my childhood growing up. I used to watch this a lot, and I just love their incorporation of video games as well as, you know, stoner comedy, and it's just a really funny movie. And I love Nick Swardson, he's hilarious. And then we got the Hellsing hardcover edition, which, as you can see, is still sealed. Got this little area down here. Got the Apex Funko Pops. Got a Caustic, Lifeline, Goku Black, Future Trunks, Kazuya from Tekken, Vegeta, Mew, and the Spawn from Mortal Kombat figure. So that's pretty much it for my shelf. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to talk about. But yeah, these are some of my favorite things that I got. And you know, I'm hoping to move into a bigger space later this year, and I can kind of branch out and organize the shelf a little better. Just tried to make it as aesthetically pleasing as I could, but hope you guys enjoyed that. Now this is something that I cannot forget to include in the video. This is my Devil May Cry neon sign, which I absolutely love. It's just like the one that Dante has out in front of his shop, and got it for a birthday gift quite a few years ago. I mean, it's been up there for a while, but man, that is just something that I will hold on to until the end of time, I promise you that. As you guys can see, we got the 27-inch Trinitron here. I believe it's a KV27 FS120 is the model that I have. As a lot of retro gamers know, this is one of the holy grails of CRT televisions. I searched high and low for this TV on Facebook Marketplace for months at a time. I eventually found this one for $40, about 3 hours away. Had to make the drive, and it was well worth it, even though it about killed me trying to carry this thing in. I mean, it's an absolute beast. I weigh 140, and this thing probably weighs about 120 or so, but man, it felt like every bit of 300 pounds. It was crazy. Now, typically with the setup right here, I have a little beanbag chair that I pull out. I got it in the closet right now because, as you can see, I'm working with limited space, and I wouldn't really be able to maneuver around with the beanbag in the middle of the floor. But yeah, usually I'll throw down a beanbag chair and have all the lights off and just sit down and play a retro game or watch a DVD on this. And it's been an absolutely phenomenal CRT TV. I definitely recommend anyone that's looking for one to pick one of these up. Let's see if we can pick up this beautiful sound. Hear that static? Here's a little more nostalgia for you. That's poetry, baby. Now we're gonna go underneath because I have a couple of classic gaming mags here, which I think are really cool. I got a Game Informer, Resident Evil 3, that's pretty recent actually, probably, let's see, I think April 2020 it says, but yes, it's pretty recent, not too retro. Now this was used for my Kane and Lynch video. We got an official PlayStation magazine, Resident Evil 5 on the cover art. Pretty much anything Resident Evil I have to buy. That's just the rule at this point. And then I have a Prima strategy guide for the Getaway, which I will be using on my playthrough very soon. So we'll see how that goes. Man, I got some weird legs. Like, bro, hit a leg day every once in a while, please. I gotta say, that was a lot more work than I was expecting, and I didn't think it would take me that long to go through everything, so I hope you guys aren't too terribly bored. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my little room tour. This is, you know, my little workspace. This is my creative area, and this is a place that is very special to me, and I do really enjoy the time that I get to spend in here, and I'm very grateful for everything that I have and that I've collected over the years. Thank you guys for watching, and now we're gonna move on to the Q&A segment of the video. So I'm gonna hop on over to the webcam and we'll finish it up there, so stay tuned. Anyways, now we're going to move on to the Q&A section of this video. I just want to give a shout out to everybody that left a question for me to answer. I really appreciate you guys helping me put this video together, as I thought it would be a good way for us to kind of interact with each other and get to know each other on a more personal level. But anyways, let's get started with these questions. The first question comes from Sonic Keen 1525. He asked, what made you want to start this channel in the first place? Well, first off, this channel did start as a music account for me. I made music, rap music, for about 10 years or so under the name CK Noir, and then later BTB Lalo. And this channel was basically where I would put all my music videos, all my uploads, all my new songs, stuff like that. I started the channel right after high school, I think in 2013 or 2012. And yeah, for the longest it was just a music account. It wasn't until about 2 years ago I decided to change it to Heaven Sent, and I wanted to focus more on psychology videos at first. So I was making videos just about psychology, kind of like self-motivational videos, stuff like that. And I still got a couple of them here on the channel, but more than anything, I kind of just had like an epiphany that video games have always been my passion. They're what I love, and ever since I was a kid I wanted to work with video games. So I thought to myself, hey, this is a way that you could possibly get to work with video games for a living. So I decided to start making content about video games and ideas that I had been holding on to for a while, and it just kind of turned into this. And I'm very glad that you guys have been enjoying it so far. So thank you, because I wouldn't have been able to get this far without you. Now on to the next question. Outlaw DG asks, what's your favorite game that nobody talks about enough? If I had to pick a game that is one of my favorites that nobody talks about enough, it'd probably have to be The Evil Within. I feel like it's a very underrated series, and honestly it holds true to being one of the best survival horror games of all time in my opinion. I mean, just the whole universe of The Evil Within is so strange and so like mysterious, like you really don't know what to expect next, and that's kind of what I love about it. Anybody who's a Resident Evil fan just has to love The Evil Within, because it's that same kind of gameplay, the same gameplay mechanics, but you get a lot more variety in the enemies and the bosses. So I don't know, I really feel like The Evil Within is an incredible series that nobody talks about enough, and I absolutely love it. On to the next question. Dante Da Silva 9773 asks, we all talk about games here, but what are your top 5 favorite movies? That's a hard one to answer, but if I had to think of a top 5 movie list off the top of my head, first off, Scream is my favorite movie of all time. The original Scream is a movie that I can watch time and time again and never get tired of, as you probably saw with all the decorations in my room. After that, it'd be Grandma's Boy. That's my favorite comedy movie. I absolutely love it. Behind that would be Final Destination 2. I'll probably have to go with 2. After that, The Place Beyond the Pines with Ryan Gosling. Man. And then after that, Cloverfield. I absolutely love Cloverfield. So yeah, I'd say that's my top 5. On to the next question. Dr. Reshes asked me, are you a YouTuber? I would not consider myself a YouTuber exactly. I just do this part-time on the side. I do work a full-time job at FedEx as a courier, but when I get free time, I definitely love creating content. I love talking about video games, and I love playing new games so that I can make these videos. So while I'm not exactly a full-time YouTuber, I definitely am involved in the YouTube community, but yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a full-blown YouTuber just yet. And Dr. Reshes actually gave us a second question. He said, I get a vibe from you that you are more in your element with console games. What about PC games? Have you tried / played any in particular that were too frustrating or too complex that you want to return to? Also, what's your relation towards turn-based tactical games? Well, to be honest, I don't have any experience with any turn-based tactical games. The only turn-based games I've played are mostly RPGs such as Final Fantasy or Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which I'm playing currently. But as far as like PC games, oh yeah, there's absolutely a lot of PC games that I play. Before the past couple of years, I was primarily playing on PC, and a lot growing up I played on PC. I played a lot of MMOs such as RuneScape and World of Warcraft, a little bit of Aeon Online, so very much a PC gamer growing up. As far as like games that I want to return to that were particularly frustrating on PC, I would probably say Armored Core 6. It was a game that released last year. I absolutely loved it, but I've been stuck on a boss fight and I've put about 30 hours into it and I just cannot get past this boss fight. So I may mod it to be easier so I can get through it, or I might just have to man up and try it again soon. But yeah, I'd say Armored Core 6 is a game that I definitely want to return to, but it did frustrate me. And on to our next question. Hayes1313 asks, I'd like to know about your intro to gaming. I find it fascinating that people all over the world with different life experiences can feel the same way about certain games. My earliest memories of gaming are with the PlayStation 1. I remember my dad bought me one when I was about 6 or 7 years old. He came home with it after work and I was just so excited to play that thing. It came with a disc that had demos of Metal Gear Solid, Musashi, Medieval, I think Wild 9 was on there, and I played that demo disc like crazy. Because I don't think my dad knew you had to buy games for it, so I just played the demo disc for a while. eventually he got me Tekken 2, and that really started my love for Tekken at a young age. But yeah, I played a lot of great games on PlayStation 1, and that was the moment I really fell in love with gaming. So shout out to PlayStation, and shout out to you, Dad, for buying me one. Thank you. And for our next question, Shadabapa, I hope I said that right, asked, do you still have any musical aspirations? If so, where can we find your music? If not, what made you transition into content creation? You can still find some of my music. It's on Spotify under BTB Lalo. I got a song on there called Forever Numb. There's a few songs on there, you'll definitely see them. Other than that, you can also find me under my old alias, CK Noir, which is CKNOIR on SoundCloud. I got a lot of old tracks on there. And it's kind of crazy to listen to my old music and just see the person that I've become now, but you can still listen to my old music for sure. As far as musical aspirations go, I still am involved with music. I still write music, and I still plan on recording in the future. I'm sitting on a lot of songs that I haven't released as well, but it's more so just something I do for fun at this point, and something that I do to release tension or stress at times if I need to write. But more than anything, I have no aspiration to be an artist for a living or to make it or anything like that. I kind of learned a long time ago that the music industry is not a place that I would want to be, even if I was capable of doing so, and that I'm much happier just being a normal person who likes playing video games and makes content about it. So that's just kind of the track I'm on, and that's actually what made me transition into content creation. I just kind of looked within myself and said, hey, who am I really? Like, what's the person I want to be? Do I want to be a persona that I have to kind of come into with music, or do I just want to play video games and be a nerd like I am? And that's kind of what got me here. So yeah, I just decided to be myself, and so I started making content about the things that I'm passionate about, and that's what got me here. And the next question is a spicy one. We got Dilo He, hope I said that right once again, but they ask, are you married or have someone you're romantic with? I am not married, and I am currently technically single at the moment, yes. I was in a very long relationship for about 8 or 9 years, and we were on good terms and everything, but I actually have some personal things I have to deal with so that I can be in a happy relationship. And so I'm kind of in the midst of getting therapy and working around that so that I can be in a happy relationship one day. But as of right now, it's just me. I'm chilling. And then the next question is Roman Cadillac 2519. He asked, any thoughts on Tekken 8? Tekken 8 is wonderful. You should buy it if you haven't already, and I absolutely love it. I wish I had more time to play it, but yeah, it's a great game, and Bandai Namco did an absolute bang up job at making that game, so shout out to y'all. Also, I hope you guys peeped the shirt because I put this on just for y'all, but that's exclusive. Anyways, I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope you guys had equally as much fun watching it. I know I got a very small space back here. It was kind of tough making a tour of such a tiny room, but I hope you guys enjoyed everything that I have in it, all my collectibles and just everything I had to offer in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My next video will be coming out very soon. I'm currently in the process of editing together all the visuals, which is the easy part, luckily, but all the writing is done, the narration's done, and yeah. It's going to be a video about Sega, so I hope you guys are excited for it just as much as I am excited to make it. Anyways, I just want to take this time to thank everybody that's been showing so much unbelievable support to this channel. It really is incredible how much we have grown in just a month. I mean, I'm talking 3,000 subscribers in 28 days is just absolutely mind-boggling. I can't thank you guys enough, and I just pray that we keep this momentum rolling and that we build this channel into an unstoppable force. But I can't do it without you guys, so thank you, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. But until next time, hope you all have a great weekend, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.